Robertson, please.
Go on, you big baby. Sorry, Doctor. He hasn't set foot inside the surgery for 20 years. Typical man.
20 years, eh? What were you in for? Trepanning?
There's nothing the matter with me.
Of course there is. Pale, listless, poor appetite, can't sleep.
All right, familiar symptoms at your time of life.
Wild look in his eye. Supernaturally pointy teeth. Sudden fondness for wearing long cloaks with turned up collars. There was another one, what was it? Manic bloodlust, that's it.
Right, well, come in and take a seat. I won't bite. Now, how long have you been feeling like this?
There's nothing the matter with me. I'm totally fine.
About 2 weeks. Ever since we met that couple on holiday, the Count and Countess von Fang. I don't really believe he was a count. I mean, the accent was completely put on, and there's no such place as Transylvania, is there?
Right, I see. And was there any particular instance that kick-started these symptoms?
Not really.
Oh, yes. You see, Harold went off with Mr. von Fang. I refused to call him a count. I'm sure he only put on the accent to get a better table at the restaurant. Anyway, when they came back, he had this awful bite mark.
It was an insect bite.
Insect? A 6-foot mosquito, maybe.
All right, so the symptoms started after this bite.
Yes, it was the last day of our holiday. When we got back, I thought he was suffering with jet lag. He just wanted to sleep in the cellar all day.
Sleeping in the day, okay, and at night?
Well, he just kept wandering around trying to get out of the window. Eventually, he succeeded and came back covered in blood and licking himself.
Sleepwalking, that's all.
Oh, and the blood?
It was a late night kebab.
We live in the middle of the countryside.
I caught it myself.
Right. Let me try a few tests.
Oh, where am I? Oh my God, it burned off.
Right.
Oh.
And finally, a blood test. This won't hurt a bit. Oh, good Lord, it actually does.
That's just skeleton blood flowing wantonly like a delicious Romanian river.
That will suffice, thank you.
When will we get the results, Doctor?
They won't be long. Right, they're here.
So can you tell me what's wrong with my husband?
There's nothing the matter with me. Midlife crisis.
I'm afraid that's often the misdiagnosis. No, your husband is a vampire.
A vampire?
A vicious undead creature, yes.
Well, that does explain a lot. Are you sure?
Quite sure. However, I don't want you to worry unduly. Vampirism is more common than you think, and with good care and nutrition, you and your husband should live to a good old age. Well, your husband will anyway. A very good age. However, there will have to be some lifestyle changes.
I don't know, I can't change at my age.
You already have, Mr. Robertson, quite considerably. Now, diet. You will need special foods, but these can all be found in the nut-free, wheat-free, gluten-free and undead section of your local supermarket.
Right. What about eating out?
Well, most restaurants nowadays are vampire-friendly, as denoted by the small V on the menu. However, you could always ask if he could go into the kitchens and lick the blood off the chopping boards.
No, that sounds like a lot of fuss about nothing to me.
Mr. Robertson, this is a very serious condition. Now, I'm going to give you these books to read.
The autobiography of Michael Howard, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Interview with a Vampire.
It does help to know that others are going through similar situations as yourself.
Doctor, is there a cure?
Well, Well, for people who can't handle their condition, there is surgery. However, I'm afraid it's rather drastic.
Oh. What does that involve?
Well, we would drive a stake through your husband's heart, cut off his head and bury the pieces in separate graves.
And is that painful?
Not unduly, no. Would you like me to book you in?
Well, what do you think, dear? I mean, the doctor seems to think you can live with this, but the surgery sounds like it's worth a try.
It says here that vampires live off the blood of virgins and live forever.
Forever? Oh no, I don't like the sound of that. Well, that'll interfere with my retirement plan. No, I think we'll go for the surgery.
I'll send a note to Dr. Van Helsing and then he'll be in touch to tell you when he's available to start hunting you down.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
Hunting me down?
Oh, yes. Dr. Van Helsing likes to work al fresco, as it were, surprising his patients when they least expect it. No more waiting about in drafty NHS corridors for you, Mr. Robertson.
Hang on, I don't want to have my head cut off.
Will it stop his snoring?
Almost certainly.
Well, that's settled.
Well, look, it says here that vampires are glamorous creatures of the night. They wear silky, billowing coats and live in towering Gothic castles surrounded by nubile young women. I might like that.
Oh, stop whinging. Anyone would think you were the first person in the world to have a procedure. Now, come on. Come on.
Was there something else, Mr. Robertson?
While I'm here, Doctor, I have a bit of a personal problem. You see, I've been growing a lot of body hair recently. Well, whenever I see a full moon, I tend to go down on all fours and start howling. I was wondering whether, it's ridiculous, I know, but I was just wondering whether you think I might possibly be a werewolf?
A werewolf? Good gracious me, whatever now. A werewolf, you say? Here, take these placebos. You've obviously got far too much time on your hands. Now, have you ever considered taking up line dancing? You should do, you see. It's an excellent cure for hypochondria and excessive libido. Now, on your way. Here we go, there's a good girl. Hysterical woman.